At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance. We are the future of crypto.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Vibra Live. My name is Adam. If you are unfamiliar, I'm the CEO of Vibra Finance. Going to get into some interesting stuff today. It never ends in this amazing world of cryptocurrency. What a time to be alive. That dang elbow cough, man, facing reality. Man, I'm going to have him tested for whooping cough. There's about 5 people now that got that cough going. HOA, good to see you, my man. Appreciate you stopping in. Let's get into it today. Checking the bubbles. We had a little alt push yesterday, kind of cooled off, but we got to follow Bitcoin. That's everything right now. If Bitcoin can break above 30K, that's a huge psychological number. You know, people like to FOMO in at 20K, 25K, 30K. For some reason, we've been programmed for these psychological numbers. And, you know, the more Bitcoin can creep up, if we can break that 30, push up to 31, 32, and then fall back down, that's what I'm looking for. A nice little alt season coming back. You know, looking to see Arbitrum. I'm keeping an eye on that, honestly. If that honestly has kind of flattened out, consolidated, you know, that was a big airdrop for the ecosystem. A lot of noise came in, and it kind of died down. I really thought there'd be a lot more hype around the whole ecosystem, to be honest. And it seems to have came and gone. There's really no loyalty to these ecosystems, even optimism too. That was a huge airdrop. It's been out for a year. And it seems like it's just slowly, it's not picking up steam. It's going in the wrong direction. The same, you know, Arbitrum too. And that's where Pulse Chain, I think, is a major, major difference. You know, the community behind Pulse Chain, the noise we're making, the influencers that are going to be talking about it, they have nothing else that's going to make them look like gods or look like heroes to their communities. You know, just being able to say, yeah, click 2 buttons, change your settings, and any ERC20s you had are now given to you for free on Pulse Chain. You can't say that about Arbitrum or these other ecosystems. You know, I bridged over half an ETH into the Arbitrum ecosystem. You know, it was nothing, just to play around over there to try to qualify for the airdrop. And I didn't qualify for it because I didn't do transactions over a 2-month period. And that was a little bit of a bummer, but they're making them really hard now. It's not like it used to be. If you use the protocol once or twice, swap money on MetaMask or on Uniswap back in the day, or the Ample Fourth airdrop or 1inch, they were way easier. Now these airdrops, they're tough to get. And I think this Pulse the largest airdrop, I think we're going to be able to say the most valuable airdrop in history. You know, it might not be the biggest, but I think it will be by far the most valuable. And that will be a big selling point. You know, as it launches and word starts spreading, oh my God, you have free coins waiting for you. There's free coins waiting for you. Especially if we can launch soon, while before people really know we're in a bull market. There's a lot of bears still out there on Twitter. A lot of them. That still don't believe this, that we're going back down to close to 10K. And that I don't think that's the case, but they need to flip bullish, and that's going to take time. I think Pulse will be a big catalyst for these people that are kind of perma bears, realizing, all right, it's time to flip the switch. And the same XRP too, is that could be another switch that gets flipped, which I don't think it will. I don't think I think that's a bunch of nonsense, that whole argument. But XRP, that ruling, there's something going on. There's been a lot of volume with XRP. XLM has been in the headlines now with their MoneyGram stuff. We've been talking about that for years now, when Ripple bought MoneyGram in 2019. And then they got sued by the SEC, so they had to allegedly sell it to Stellar, who then took over and is now doing all peer-to-peer transfers through MoneyGram. So anytime you send money around the world now, pretty much XLM are going to be the rails that do it. And the XRP is going to be used for on-demand liquidity and big settlements for the banks and bigger transactions. So let's want to get into the article from today. Gary Gensler, we all love him. He is seeking $2.43 billion to protect investors. What do you guys think about that? $2.4 billion of our hard-earned tax-paying dollars. He's requesting to keep carrying on the agency's name and the amazing efforts they've been doing for the last God knows how many years. What's up, Tin Top? How you doing, my man? Appreciate you stopping in. What do you think about this, brother? $2.436 billion Gary Gensler is looking for to protect investors. You think that's enough? I think he needs $3-4 million, to be honest. Gary Gensler requested $2.43 billion from the government's fiscal year budget of 2024 to enable the agency to carry out its mandate and better protect investors as they are put on a better track for the future. Gensler said the agency would better act and ensure stability and efficiencies in the financial markets with more funding, as he justified the mega budget. The chairman explained that their oversight roles were vast and they had grown over the last 7 years. Presently, the agency has 30 divisions and offices across 11 regional locations, besides its headquarters in Washington. Additionally, the regulator is tasked with supervising credit rating agencies. Man, Gensler emphasized the importance of the agency, saying the first securities laws were enacted 90 years ago and has been a steadfast client of 330 million Americans. These clients, he said, actively invest their 401ks and IRAs through brokerage apps, participate in capital markets, fund their businesses, and bring to life new ideas and innovation. Because of this, the SEC chair said, must drive efficiencies, therefore helping protect financial stability and modernizing existing rule sets for the $100 trillion market in line with what's laid out by congressional authorities. To better carry out its mandate, the SEC will use the majority of this budget on enforcement, upgrading their tools, and acquiring new resources to boost capacity in light of the rapid technological innovation across the industry, including crypto. Last year, Gensler noted that even with limited resources, the agency's division brought in more than 750 actions, resulting in $6.4 billion in penalties and disgorgement. I mean, has he lost his mind? I mean, what do you need money for to put laws in effect that make sense? I mean, it's sad that the average American or a group of Hexicans could make laws that apply and wouldn't drive innovation across the world. But what he's doing now by saying, he insists that clear rules for the crypto markets exist, which is complete bullshit. We know that. Look what's happening to Coinbase. They had 30 meetings with the SEC over the last, I think, 6 or 7 years, saying, what can we do? What can we do? What's illegal? We'll do whatever we have to do. And what's came out of that? They get sued now for staking. It's an absolute joke. He says here that these rules have been in existence for 80 years. The regulations actually already exist, sir, said Gary Gensler. They're called securities regulation. And so there are disclosure regulations for when somebody tries to raise money from the public, the SEC chair said. So all of this, in my opinion, this whole crypto thing is from how these companies raise their money to begin with. Has nothing to do with how they operate now, none of that. It's all pretty much how they went public. So by going after them and finding them, pennies on the dollar, is that really working? Look at where it's gotten him now. The banks are the biggest crooks out there. JP Morgan, what they've been doing, they paid $30 billion in fines over the last 10 years. So how much profit have they made on that? It's just a complete joke by saying that. These laws aren't here. The crypto is the Wild West. So he's at one hand, he's saying that there's clear laws, come in and register with us. But then you come and you try, they won't offer any suggestions, and then they just sue you. It just can't sustain itself. It's just getting insane. And with technology, with social media, with everything we have nowadays, word is spreading. People are seeing what's going on. Get Gary gone. We got to get that. What happened to all those fines he's been giving out? Someone needs to, exactly, bro. $6.4 billion in penalties and disgorgements they've brought in. So where did all that money go? You're asking for $2.3 billion, but you pulled in 6.4. Yeah, they are a criminal. They are honestly a mafia, in my opinion. Gary's concern also leaned on the crypto market, which he described as rife with non-compliance. He said the crypto market is the Wild West and digital assets were speculative. But then at the same time, he said when he's getting called out, Congressman Sanford Bishop from Georgia asked the chairman today if he has any plans to issue a rule to clarify how security laws apply to digital assets, echoing a common refrain from the crypto industry that has called for years for clarity. Gensler, in typical form, stuck to his guns that rules for crypto could not be any clearer. The regulations already exist. But crypto is still the Wild West. He's speaking out of both sides of his mouth. It's really bad. But the more I kind of talk to people that are in higher positions in this world, people that are extremely wealthy, I have the privilege to talk to them about crypto, which 5 years ago, I never would have been speaking with them. They would never have had a reason to even talk to me. But now I get to kind of get a feeling for what the view is on a different level, in a different circle. And they all pretty much look at him like he's a complete joke. He has no authority to make any laws. And he's pretty much made for TV now. When I started in commercial real estate in 2008, in the middle of the financial crisis, I never, ever remembered Fed speeches every month or every 3 months. I never remembered, I think it was, what's his face? Ben Bernanke, I think was back then was the chair, but you rarely heard him speak. And now it's like Jerome Powell and Gary Gensler. And these guys are almost celebrities. It's crazy where this has gone. But they have no authority to make laws. Everything has to go through Congress. And when I talk to these guys about the fears I have and stuff, they all pretty much laugh at me. And they're like, Adam, don't worry about any of that. He's just doing this to stir up noise, to get people distracted, to take their eyes off what's really going on. I don't know if it's coincidence that this incident that just happened with the confused person who went on a little spree down there, it happened right when they're trying to take away guns. It seems like it's a major distraction. Look what's going on over here. Oh my God, oh my God. Meanwhile, over here, they're trying to pass Patriot Act 2.0. So everyone's all distracted and, oh, look at the shoes, the Nikes of that it's crazy, the programming that comes out of this stuff. So I try not to pay attention to it at all and focus on the actual laws and what's going on in Washington while these movies are being shown to us on TV. And they are actually some of them movies. I don't want to get down a deep rabbit hole, but Facing Reality knows, the Smith-Mundt Act. If you look into that, it basically allows American media to show movies. The United States government was allowed to run propaganda in foreign countries to stir up countries, to break up politics, to divide the country, to create civil chaos. And in 2012, Barack Hussein signed that into law, that same tactic that the government has used to break up other countries and foreign leaders, they can now do that in the United States. The media is now allowed to broadcast Hollywood-like events and report on them live on TV. And if anyone questions the source, you're immediately banned from any platform. The sources are anonymous. They stay that way. So we now literally can flip on CNN, Fox News, and be shown a freaking movie. It could be a staged event and reporting on it live like it's real. It's crazy what goes on. And I didn't even know about this until about a year ago. And this has been a law for over 10 years. And a lot of people don't know that stuff. So I don't trust anything on the mainstream media, especially like, oh yeah, Fox News or the conservatives or CNN, the liberal side. They both are controlled by the same beast. There's 5 corporations, entities that run the media. They're not competitors. Fox and CNN, they are working together when you really take a step back and look at the big picture. And when you start to see that stuff, that they're all working together, that they're allowed to show you movies and report on them, the same stuff they used with these foreign countries in the Middle East to divide them, propaganda, commercials, all this stuff. They can do the same thing now in the United States. It's really bad. And the average person does not know better. If you're busy, you work 60 hours a week, you got kids, they got sports and everything going on. You flip on the news for 2 seconds, the channel that you think you like, you see this stuff and you believe it. And it's really bad, really bad. That's why we got to build Hexaco. When Pulse Chain launches, if it does, I'm hearing rumors that Richard's in the United States right now. I don't know if it's true, but if he is, that could be a good sign. He's getting ready to do some kind of media campaign, hit BitBoy up, hit up all the guys in Miami there, the Money Gang, everyone that he, that show where he was twerking on or whatever. That's not my cup of tea, but I love to see that. This article absolutely cracked me up. That Matt Damon says he did the Crypto.com ads due to a down year at the Clean Water Foundation. The Hollywood star said he partnered in 2021 with Crypto.com to get financial backing for his Water.org initiative. The comedy, the hypocrisy of all this stuff, man, it's just crazy. I gave my whole salary to Water.org because we were down, and Crypto.com heard about that, and they gave $1 million to Water.org completely on their own. I definitely have a lot of gratitude for what they did for our foundation. Water.org did not immediately respond. Crypto.com declined to comment. Matt Damon, I think you are full of poop. I just don't believe you. But this is his way of getting out of it. I was just doing it for charity. We had a down year in the middle of a bull run when everyone was making tons of money in crypto. Matt Damon was an early investor in, I think, Coinbase, or I think it was Coinbase or one of these sites. I know he was in early. So him and Ben Affleck. So it's a complete joke. And this one of the last articles right here. This crypto casino made $2.6 billion in revenue last year. Stake, BitBoy's sponsor now, pays Drake $100 million per year to endorse the casino. So how much you think they're paying BitBoy to be his sponsor down there? I mean, I can't hate on that. I mean, honestly, if I was watching, I don't watch his channel or whatever, but if I had the choice between watching ads or watching a little steak commercial, I would probably take the steak commercial all day, to be honest with you. But these guys made $2.6 billion last year. It's just, Bitcoin degens, they accept crypto on there. That's why I'm so bullish on Casino Coin, on the XRP ledger. They built out their whole lobby. They KYC'd. You have to KYC to use it. It's a really cool site. I just know from being an online poker degen back in the day that somebody needs to solidify themselves as like the blockchain company gaming place where we can log into with MetaMask and just start playing poker, start gambling, blackjack, whatever. That's hello, Serena. How are you? Good to see you. Maybe Richard's doing a bidet installation workshop. That I mean, honestly, that the fact that he has the humility to show that and admit that just shows me that no scammer would ever do that, in my opinion. Anyone that's out to scam someone would never get their hands dirty doing anything. They would just hire somebody, whatever. But yeah, that would be funny. A bidet tour. But yeah, crypto gaming, guys, it's massive. This is such a big industry, and it's only gonna get bigger. And I really do. I like Casino Coin. That's my bet for this industry. And there's another company out here that's trying to make headlines, but we'll see. We talked about this the last couple streams too. The HEX Trust, how DeFi is coming out for all institutions. So while Coinbase is getting sued for offering staking to us, they're now rolling out staking for all the institutions and companies, corporations out there. So all 29 behemoth companies that are on Hedera's governing council, staking is all fine for them. Perfectly legal. They're good to go. And actually, they just added all these networks on here. So they have added 6 networks onto their platform for staking and connectivity for any asset supported that's an ERC20, basically. So the hypocrisy in all of the media right now is at an all-time high. And this is what makes me even more bullish. That in the next 6 months, this market could really take off and catch people by surprise. The economy, the banking system, it's the fact that it's now more risky to hold money in a bank than it is to hold Bitcoin. That's a major change. I mean, a major change in just looking at all of crypto. The whole crypto is used for illicit activities. Crypto is used for criminals. That's not gonna, I don't think you can even publish that stuff really anymore. I don't think we're going to see much of that. We're going to now start seeing Bitcoin is the hedge to inflation. Bitcoin is safer than banks. As soon as I think the Ripple case settles and there's some kind of, because there has to be laws in place, I believe, for this type of stuff to be rolled out. And the fact that it just went live this week, MetaMask Institutional, they literally went live this week. I don't see how all these institutions are going to be able to do this if it's illegal or there's nothing in place. MetaMask Institutional is the only multi-custodial institutional Web3 wallet. Integrate with your chosen custody or self-custody provider to help manage key storage, facilitate multi-sig, and optimize trade flows. So we're going to be able to use MetaMask. And like, if, for example, we want to open an account with Fidelity, we make Pulse launches, we make a bunch of money, and we want to put 10 ETH into some tokenized real estate or a tokenized bond or a tokenized stocks, whatever it is. We're going to be able to take that ETH from MetaMask and move it into a Fidelity account or a traditional brokerage account. And I feared that we weren't going to be able to in the future, that there was going to be like a walled off garden that we wouldn't be able to access. But that's not the case. I thought there was going to be like, you go down to the corner and instead of like a crack dealer, there'd be like a Bitcoin swapper there who will take your Bitcoin and swap it for like deposit tokens or a CBDC or something, and they would keep the dirty Bitcoin. But that's not the case at all. Fidelity's building out bridges to bring in access to cold wallets, to cold storage, interoperability with the stuff that retail uses. So I don't fear that at all anymore. I'm super bullish now that everything is going to work out how we wanted it to. We're going to be able to use that money we made in DeFi and bring it into the traditional markets. And obviously, you're going to have to report where it came from, pay taxes on it, which is a whole different topic. But just being able to have interoperability, being able to use these platforms, I'm super bullish now. Just the fact that Fidelity has a crypto platform, a crypto tab on their website now, that's massive. It's coming. They're put education is here now, how to use it. There just has to be, I think, some kind of laws from this Ripple settlement that come in that these guys can say, this is the laws, this is how we're rolling out staking. It works for us. Now you guys can do it. And I think in a year from now, an ETF will be rolled out. The Grayscale lawsuit with the SEC will go in favor of Grayscale. The stuff the judge is saying, he's pretty much laughing at the SEC at this point. So I can't see that not going in Grayscale's favor. So as soon as that ETF is approved, that is super bullish for all of crypto, for Bitcoin in general. What was it? The Grayscale, it was a spot ETF, I believe. When their ETF came out, it allowed you to just short the hell out of Bitcoin. Well, when this new ETF comes out, it does the opposite. It actually brings I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it's more bullish for longing Bitcoin, and it helps alleviate all that shorting pressure from corporate VC America who's in the Grayscale trust. So that's going to happen. That will get approved, and then once those laws are in place, these guys can say, look, the laws are in place. This is how you do staking. It works perfectly for us. Now you guys can do it. It's perfectly legal. And when you have Fidelity putting this on their website, and you actually now as a business account can open an account with Fidelity and trade crypto inside of it, that's brand new. That's within the last couple months. And after watching that interview with a couple of their brokers talking about how over the next year they're building integration for cold wallets and MetaMask, we're going to be able to bridge into all these different platforms when we want to. And that's the one fear I had before, and I'm not worried about it at all anymore. I really do think that their interoperability is going to be a massive key to all this. It will happen, and I'm not fearing that these guys are going to have these walled gardens with like a third layer that they bridge everything over, or they fork everything over to something with admin keys that they control. So all our ERC20s, kind of like if you have an ERC20 and it switches contract and the old coin has no more value, but you can still trade it. It's still available on Uniswap. There's just no liquidity. I kind of had that fear that all the cryptos we had now would somehow, be forked or whatever, changed over, brought onto their networks so we wouldn't have access to them. But that's not what I'm seeing at all. It's the polar opposite. Even LCX exchange, they are out in Liechtenstein over there in Finbear's neck of the woods out there. And these guys, their website is being updated almost every day now. They just launched the new QRC20 on here, Quant's native token, which is you got to sign in. The QRC20, that's brand new. That's on here. It went live in the last week or two. So this stuff is starting to happen now. These guys are fully regulated, have all their licenses for Europe, and they have a bunch of ERC20s already for sale on here. So that just shows me that the secondary sales of these coins, there's no problem with it. The library case that went bad, there's no problem. Secondary sales, John Deaton went and got the judge to say yes, secondary sales are not securities. Even though their ICO was illegal, they didn't do it properly, they're paying a fine. Your retail trading and secondary sales are not securities. And that's what I needed to hear. And then the fact that they have all these different tokens on their exchange and on their decks already, it makes me more bullish that there's going to be no problem with every one of these coins you see on here. Secondary sales of are already fine. If you own a coin and it's not on these platforms, there might be an issue. Like Basic Attention Token, Engine, Decentraland, Uniswap, Bitcoin Cash, Avalanche. It's not a coincidence that these are the same coins that are in iTrust Capital, where I have my crypto IRA. It's the same list as this pretty much. And that kind of makes me even more bullish that there's already a designated list of coins that secondary sales of them is going to be perfectly fine. There's going to be no problem with them. They might have to pay a fine for how they launched or whatever. But again, that's pennies on the dollar. That's exactly JP Morgan's motto. Do whatever you want that's illegal, make $1 trillion, and then pay 10 billion in fines. And then everybody wins. And it's crooked as hell, but that's the way the world works. And I think that this is going to follow suit with crypto, that the secondary sales will be fine. But some of these that did an illegal sale or pre-sale, they're going to have to come in and pay some fines, which I don't see that being a problem at all, in my opinion. Man, what is this hot token? It's pumping like hell. But yeah, like even Floki, right? That's a meme coin, just garbage coin. And it's already on here. Ape, they had problems. They got sued by the SEC. So I see, even AMP, they had a problem. They were one of the coins that were sued on the SEC's list for potential securities. And they're already on here. HBAR, Quant, and then these Timons. Wow, these Timons are pumping like crazy. So I talked about these a couple weeks ago, the tokenized diamonds, how people were starting to look at them. But I saw this like 2 years ago, maybe not 2 years ago, but it was a while back. And this thing, they were worthless. Like it launched and they straight tanked. Yeah, so it came out in January 20th. That's on the chart, and it was down at 3 cents, and now it's up at 9. Wow. So yeah, they've 3x. I'm gonna keep it. I might actually buy some of these. It's a really cool idea. These tokenized diamonds. And so every time, even every one you buy, there's actually a diamond in a vault in a reserve for you. So it's not like you're buying paper gold or paper diamonds or whatever, or paper silver. There's a diamond in a vault that backs each one. I'm on the exchange. So wow, this Bluetooth mouse, this thing sucks. This Mac mouse, FYI. Definitely need to look at a better mouse than this. All right, where is LCX? I think it's a really cool idea. I mean, tokenizing diamonds, commodities. It's going to be a big market, in my opinion. People are going to be looking to get out of traditional just junk. Stocks, even gold is about to hit $2,000. That's another huge psychological number. I can't find it right now. I probably have to log in. But really interesting how much that these diamonds are pumping. They're super small market cap. So might be worth looking into these. I'm going to definitely maybe check them out. I mean, it's such its infancy, and they're one of the few exchanges over there that are fully legal in Liechtenstein, and they are extremely wealthy over there. Wow, look at that, up 50%. I mean, I'm telling you, they were just flat forever. So yeah, they came out early last year. So I was 30 cents they launched, and then look, they dumped down to a penny. And then they just sat forever. So I was like, man, I didn't know if these were real. I didn't know if it was a scam. I didn't really know what was going on. And then once I started seeing LCX and them partnering with Quant, they partnered with, I forget who else, but it was a major partnership. And that just kind of solidified, all right, there's something going on with this company. And then looking into Liechtenstein, how much money is over there, the dots just started connecting. And then, I mean, this chart, I mean, look at that. I mean, it's still at under a penny. It's still almost a 35x away from its launch price. So obviously this is purely financial advice. I'm a financial advisor here talking into a screen. Do everything I say right now. Luna Classic all in, another great move potentially. Obviously, I'm just kidding. It just cracks me up, the not financial advice shit. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor. I just talk about the cryptos I like. That's the world we live in, though. But yeah, follow on Twitter here. Let's see if they put up anything recent. It rains diamonds on Uranus. Interesting. LCX is tokenized bonds. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tokenized diamonds. That's something that interests you at all? It sounds cool. Diamonds signify ownership rights of real world diamonds. Yeah, so they're backed. I mean, it's kind of cool, I think. So yeah, so you buy the NFTs and then it's a diamond. So this is $79. You get a VVS VGJ color 1/3 of a carat diamond. It's kind of cool. Wow, $4,000 for this one. Holy crap, 50,000 for an EX VS2. So what is it? Oh, it must be flawless. Yeah, okay. Wow. That's kind of cool. So let's see what the most expensive one is. $7,000. EX VS2. If any ballers out there want a beautiful diamond, I wonder if you can actually see it. Like, diamond number 20 is a round shaped diamond with an excellent cut. That's what I'm Mobius. That's what I'm wondering. Like, is this like paper gold though? Because when you buy paper gold, is there actually gold that's sitting in a vault that is guaranteed by? Because I know for silver, there's like 186 paper ounces for every 1 ounce of silver. But with every NFT having a diamond backed by or representing a diamond, this is kind of, I guess if you buy the token, the TIA token, yeah. Okay, so the token doesn't have the diamonds. It has 3 reflection, rebalancing, and burning. All right, so the token is basically just a pump and dump. But if you want to get the actual NFTs that represent the diamonds, there's one backing it. Okay. I actually might do this. That's actually kind of cool for like, what's the cheapest one? Let's see if there's a cheaper one than $80. No, $80 is the cheapest one. But that is kind of cool. If you were able to, oh, there it is. Okay. There is a certificate of the proof of authenticity of the diamond. Where's the GIA certificate? There it is. That's all right. So the NFTs, there's an actual diamond back in it. But buying the TIA coin that's pumping like crazy, there's that's basically paper diamonds. But I kind of like it though. Diamond handing the diamond coin. I don't know, it's a 0 volume. Wait, so how's the price pumping with no volume? Like, coin market cap sucks. All right, yeah, 40K in volume. Okay. In ETH. Oh, is there another trading pair? But no, the other ones have 4K total, so 45,000 about in trading volume. That's not bad. I might degen into this. Just the fact that it's a 30x away from its launch price. I mean, people are going to be looking to get into other stuff like commodities, gold, silver. I mean, and when you have like, I think younger kids, younger people, they don't want gold and silver. You know, they want the bling. And this kind of, I don't know, fits a cool little niche, I think. No, that's something I'm going to definitely check out. Maybe get an NFT. And that's where can you fly? Like, there needs to be a place. That's why I like NFT.com. And we got the Genesis key for that, because it's a place where you can like show off all your NFTs, and they're going to make it like cross chain in the future where you can flex your NFTs from all your different chains in your profile. So like we have actually I should do that, nft.com/Vibra. I know we minted it, but we haven't really, I forget what we even did with it. All right, there it is, nft.com/Vibra. But we got to add stuff to it. It's kind of cool though. So we'll be able to come in and like show off all of our NFTs or whatever that we have. Wait, what is this? Oh, nice. It's Lindsay's MetaMask account. That's funny. Look at her. She's a Texan bull. Shout out Lindsay the Hexican. Look at that. Her name is ringing true. Pulse Doge, 369 Hex, and some NFT.com Genesis keys. Nice. Crushing it. Crushing it. But, all right, guys, that's all I got for today. Gary Gensler, is he going to get his $2.4 billion? What do you guys think? Is our hard-earned tax dollars, do they need to go to Gary Gensler? Or for like $100,000, could they fly 10 hexagons down there to create laws that make more sense than any of these guys can create? Actually, that's not, they don't make laws, the SEC. We could go down there and create a better plan for enforcement than just, suing anyone that launches something. The rules are in place. They're so clear. Just follow the rules. But the second you do anything, we're going to come sue you because you're selling illegal securities. It's so funny. It depends on who you buy from. You could take delivery on metals from a vault from some companies. Okay. Yeah. I would never buy paper gold where I can't physically I don't know it's sitting somewhere, or it could be redeemed for something. That's, I don't know how the hell we got to this place where there's 186 paper ounces of silver for every real ounce. That just shows you where crypto is going, in my opinion. That's exactly what Fidelity is trying to do right now. They are trying to scoop up all the crypto that's out there, own it all themselves, stake it, earn interest, and then sell us a derivative of it and sell us paper crypto. That's the plan. That's what I'm hearing is the plan. And that's I could see all more the reason for them to allow us to take our Bitcoin and bridge it in with them and our Ethereum and send it in with them, because half the people that do that, they're going to never get it back. They're going to leave it with them and end up trading a derivative without even probably knowing it. Well, I hope they do, but I could just see that right now. See, the more you think about this every day, kind of the light bulbs just keep going on and dots just keep connecting. It just kind of makes sense that that's where they're going. If they can hoard up and own everything, they own the assets. That's all the value. They can then get loans on them, on that assets, collateralized loans with all these DeFi protocols. That's what they want to do. If you have a derivative of something that you bought from Fidelity, you can't take that and bring it to Liquid Loans or a derivative of ETH and go get a loan out on that. You're going to have to have the native asset. And this is going to be their way of stealing all them from us and then offering some, interest rate or some reward. 9% on your ETH if you come and lock it up with us. And so you'll have your paper derivative of Fidelity ETH that you're earning on that's redeemable. Meanwhile, they can take your real ETH and bring it to a DeFi protocol and go get an actual loan on that. Or they could take it and probably go lend it out 15 times over, doing business as usual. So don't get fudded out. MetaMask institutional is live. MetaMask is you can use MetaMask on TurboTax, on Intuit to pay your taxes. If you don't know how much you made, you can sync your wallet in and they'll automatically figure it out. So interoperability is coming. This stuff just takes time. And the SEC is going to keep stalling and playing games because they have no authority to draft laws or create laws. All they can do are go after people that have broke the laws. And they're going to keep regulating by enforcement. It's not going to change. Once the Ripple lawsuit settles, hopefully we get a good ruling or a favorable ruling. But who knows? It could go bad and it might go to the Supreme Court where then there'll be a decent ruling, but that could be years. So you got to expect the unexpected, be able to sustain a bull market, be able to sustain everything going to hell and Bitcoin going to 16K if everything goes bad. You have to have a plan for both situations. SEC comes after crypto but does nothing for all the dark pool and extra shares created on the stock exchange. Never would they do. Yeah, never do what they should. Nope. And Wall Street, with their egos, they're going to come in and think they know exactly how to run crypto. They know what they're doing, and they're going to get wrecked. They've already had a track record of it, and I don't think it's going to change. So let them come in. It's a different world than what they're used to. Yeah. So, look at Gareth Soloway, that clown that's on all the influencers' channels. He's on all the spaces. Every time, he's literally the Jim Cramer of crypto. He's been so wrong. I've been paying attention to all the times he's been going short and going long. And 80% of the time, he's wrecked. If he actually made the trades he said on these streams. So he's one of the worst traders I've ever seen. And Richard, I'll never forget when he was on stream with Richard and Crypto Banter. And he was talking, and Richard was like, he had like 9 screens behind him. And he's like, dude, how many times do you use that top left screen? It looks pretty dusty back there. And it was just so funny, just completely tooling on this guy. And yet he's still here 2 years later, giving the worst calls I've seen out there. Not the worst, but pretty much the worst. Every time he was shorting, the market ripped. Every time he was long, the market dumped. And all his short-term trades got wrecked after kind of following up and seeing and writing down, all right, Gareth went long here, and looking back the next day and the market dumped. He's horrible. And these clowns are the ones that still get all the press. But it's going to change. Richard is changing up his marketing techniques. Everything is cleaned up. It's way more professional. It's way more relatable with people. And I like it. I like what he's doing. He's hitting everybody. TikTok bans, charts, how to, crush charts, little hacks, SEC stuff. I like this one, retweeting John Deaton. While the SEC and the government are fighting American entrepreneurs from engaging in crypto, including suing the #1 U.S.-based company, it's lovely to see Alipay accepted at my local pharmacy. A Chinese company now accepted at CVS, while Ripple is being sued by the SEC. The hypocrisy and the power that these banks have. Like I heard that HSBC, Chase, JP Morgan, they all met back in early 2020 and saw what Ripple was doing and had to put an end to it. And the way they did that was sue them by a bogus lawsuit. And I hope it blows up in their face, but I just have a feeling they're too big to fail. JP Morgan was there to bail out everybody, to buy up everybody. It's almost like they're part of the government now. And there's going to be a mass consolidation of all the local banks, the small banks, the community banks. Because the #1 problem I see is that those small banks, they have all the loans for commercial real estate are with these small local banks. So that's going to be the real estate crisis in the next couple of years, is all these office buildings coming empty. And these just rows of office buildings that are now 85% vacant because everyone's working from home. And when all those loans start to go belly up, that's going to crush the small banks. And that's going to be the nail in the coffin. Them having all their retail branches around everywhere, paying rent on these drive-throughs when you don't need it. Every year that goes by, more kids, more people are banking with this only. You don't need physical branches. Loans, real estate is being tokenized with NFTs. Closings are going to be a thing of the past. Even real estate agents are going to be phased out in the future. And, you know, it's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. And I just see these empty office buildings becoming the problem. That's going to be the straw that breaks all these little small banks. There's not going to be the real estate crisis from 2008 where all these houses flood the market. It's just not happening. There's Grayscale, the Fed, China, they're all buying at unprecedented rates of homes and investment properties. It was the only way to keep themselves afloat. So the inventory that hits the market is going to be office buildings. When these loans start to expire, they're going to try to refinance, and it's going to crush these small banks. And that's going to be the opportunity for the JP Morgans, the Bank of Americas to swoop right in and buy them for pennies on the dollar, undertake all the bad debt, and then they don't even have to worry about them being competitors in crypto at all. You can kind of, I see the writing on the wall for that, and them kind of just basically federalizing the U.S. banking system, and there being 5 or 6 banks that are tied and are directly on the Fed's tip. You know, instant settlement, instant bailout, maybe use Ripple's technology, maybe use the Signet technology that the Fed, the FDIC just stole from Silvergate. They now control it with Bridge Bank. So the Fed has all the technology to run all of crypto themselves. And it's a scary thing. You know, that's why DeFi is so important, and true DeFi is so important. And once this ETH 2.0 starts to come off, when the Shanghai upgrade goes through, it's going to start finding rocket pools, Lido, Anchor, Frax shares. And that's going to inevitably find real DeFi and find HEX. People will look for yield. They will start searching once this ETH 2.0 is able to be pulled off exchanges. I think there's 1 million or so people that have it staked and have it locked up, including me. I mean, I only have $50 worth on there, but I just did it to see what the process was, see the nightmare that you had to go through to earn 8%, when with HEX and real DeFi, it's been running flawlessly for 1,200 days now-ish. So people will find real DeFi. It's only a matter of time. You look at I can't stop watching Arbitrum. You know, I don't own any of the coin. I own a bunch of the alts in there, Camelot and Vela, and what the hell is the other one? I can't even remember. When you're a DGen, you're a DGen. That's all I got for today, guys. Appreciate you stopping all in. It's hard to top Kramer. I know, the inverse Kramer. That shit is so funny on Twitter. Where is it? The inverse Kramer. And the Pelosi, the inverse Pelosi one, or the Pelosi tracker, is one of the best ones ever. Yeah, inverse Kramer tracker. Oh, yeah, I gotta follow them. This is so funny. If you guys don't know about this, follow this one. Jim Cramer said SVB stock was a buy last month at 320. Yesterday it was trading for a penny. Oh man. Oh, there we go. Gareth Soloway is the Jim Cramer of crypto. You heard it here first. That's all I got, guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, 9:30 Eastern Standard. Keep crushing it. Don't be too hard of a degen, or too much of a degen.
At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Viber Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Viber Finance. We are the future of crypto.